Yeah, y'all gonna stop coming in my live talking about this Victor dude, bro. We hooping this year. Y'all gonna see.
Alright team, today we're recapping the San Antonio Spurs versus the Memphis Grizzlies. Now although we lost, I will say that I had a good time. The crowd was into it in the first half, not so much the second half. We had some pretty good seats, and overall the game was just fun to watch. I wish the Spurs pulled out this win. That would have made the night even better, but what can you do about it? So with that being said, let's just go ahead and get into the box score. I want to talk about a few players and just the game in general, so let's just go ahead and jump straight into it. First things first, you see Stephon Castle being the leading scorer with 26 points. He didn't shoot it well from three, and that's kind of an overarching theme with this game. The Grizzlies made other players beat you, and overall their game plan worked. I think in the fourth quarter, maybe Stephon Castle should have came out and you put another three-point threat in, because the way they were playing, they were just kind of sagging off Castle. I think Edie or Jaren Jackson kind of just sagged off him and let him shoot a couple times. And so you replace these players with some shooting like Champagnie. But overall, other than that, I don't think there was too much to blame on Castle. I mean, he's a rookie. What else do you want from him? I think he's still showing promise in that starting lineup. He's going to be a problem in the future. Don't really have anything to say about Harrison Barnes. He was Harrison Barnes, so on to the next. Overall, this was just a bad game from Vic. Couldn't really get the shot going. Couldn't really get much offense going. Like I said, the Grizzlies made other players beat them, and they were just doing everything in their power to stop Wemby from getting buckets. You put some of the blame on Wemby, but then you got to put some blame on the coaching and front office a little bit, because I think we do have some players that can help you. Like Malachi Branham could definitely get in there and knock down a few threes. Mamu's a really good shooter in my opinion. I think he could have helped. And I kind of see where Mitch is going with this rotation. The only people who can't shoot who played are Stephon Castle and Trey Jones, so I can see Mitch trying to surround Wemby with some shooting. But then again, the personnel we have right now, just they're not sharpshooters, and you need some more reliable shooters. Keldon Johnson is inconsistent, streaky shooter, which is not a knock on him. I've actually been really impressed with his play. He's been bringing a lot of energy, but the shot just wasn't falling. Chris Paul also shot 1 for 4, Wemby 3 for 10, and Castle 2 for 9. So a lot of players shot poor this night, and I don't think there's just one person to blame for this. I think it's a collective, and obviously the Spurs know this, and I think they're going to get it right. But that was one of the Spurs' downfalls tonight. Now this is the Devin Vassell I want to see on a consistent basis. I think he could get back to this. We saw his last performance against the Lakers. That was pretty impressive as well. So he continues his hot streak, shooting 50% from the three-point range, an efficient 53 from the field. And honestly, you can't ask much more from Devin. I think he came out to play. One of the very few that came out to play last night. And so I commend Devin Vassell. Whenever he has a good game, I gotta make it as loud as whenever I said he needs to step up a little bit more. So Devin Vassell, salute, and hopefully you can keep this play going because we need it. I don't have much to say about Chris Paul, but Keldon Johnson, like I said, I have been impressed with his play. I don't know how to explain it. I think he's been making some passes that we wouldn't see last season, especially in the paint. He'll hit a little bounce pass every once in a while. I even saw him throw a lob. Granted, it didn't connect, but just the fact that he's now seeing these things and making these passes, I've been pretty impressed, along with his energy and finishing around the rim. I haven't seen him miss too many floaters or contact layups, so if he's doing that, then I don't really have a problem with him. Obviously, the defense is not there. I don't think it ever will be there. But if you could surround him with defenders, I do think he can have a spot on this team. Charles Bassey, not much to say, but I'll say it again. Spurs need a backup big man. We cannot have Wemby out here playing 37 minutes in a random game in January. Like, it's just not a recipe for success in my opinion. I think max he should cap out at like 34, 35 a night. So I know some of y'all have said the Spurs are not making a trade. Why are you doing the trade videos? And so it's just a little faith in me. Like, I know more than likely the Spurs are not going to make a trade. Like, if I had to put money on it, I say they don't make no trade. But it's just so obvious that the Spurs need a backup big man. It's like, how can you ignore this problem? The price for a backup center right now is not expensive at all. 2 to 3 second rounders could easily get you a Valanciunas or something. And so obviously I'm not a front office GM. They know more than I do, so maybe they have something in plan for this. But in my opinion, I would trade for a backup center right now. And it doesn't even have to be a long-term long-term backup center. I just want someone that could give Wemby an adequate amount of rest. Only 10 minutes that aren't played by Wemby at center is kind of insane. You got to give Wemby some more rest. Trey Jones, not much to say about Trey Jones. Champagny, not much to say about you either, my boy, but 50% from three-point range. You keep shooting, my boy. With that being said, y'all go ahead and leave y'all's thoughts on this game down below, and let's go ahead and get into some interviews. Alright, so we're starting off with Ja Morant. You know he got Wemby in the little contact dunk. It didn't count, but he still got him. I actually saw this live, and that was just the dagger. After that, me and the boys, we picked up and we just left. That was it. It was game over. Let's go ahead and see what he has to say about his dunk.
It don't count, so it's not a dunk.
What do you say? It don't count, so it's not a dunk. Hey, he knows ball. Shout out.
It don't count, so it's not a dunk.
Ja, the people back in Memphis, man, they wanted us to ask you about this one. Like, just like you went for it, right? I mean, you could have just not, you heard the whistle, you could have just laid it up or whatever.
The whistle was on my gathering, so that I kept going with the play because normally I don't hear no whistle when I drive to the rack or anything. So.
All right, but when you saw him and you saw the opportunity,
another person at the rim.
All right.
So I dunked on plenty of people, bro. He don't get no pass either. If you at the rim, I'm gonna try you if it's that situation. It don't count.
Oh, man. I respect Ja for trying it, and he did succeed, so I'll give him a salute right there. But I don't think it's just a regular person. Ja just really wanted to catch Wemby so bad. And I don't know, I've seen some people say that Wemby hesitated. He didn't try as hard because he heard the whistle. I think Wemby tried, and he just got caught. And even last year, people said that he dunked on Wemby whenever he went up on the side and just kind of threw it in, and Wemby was just right there. That wasn't a poster. And so you would think Wemby sees Morant coming at him again. He's like, all right, it's time for my lick back. And so all you could really do is tip your cap to Ja Morant. He caught Wemby. One thing to note is this dunk did not count, like he said. So y'all go ahead and scrap the footage. Adam Silver, get a hold of that and do what you got to do. Thankfully, Spurs play Memphis again tomorrow, so maybe Wemby comes out with a chip on his shoulder and gives Ja 50 or something. Best case scenario. But my final thoughts on this, Ja, it was not just another person at the rim. Bro used all his bounce for that one and he still threw it in. But hey, I'm not hating. I'm just, on to the next interview. Oh, and by the way, shout out my mic check and clutch points for this post. Next up, shout out to Carolina Teague for the post. Spurs guard Devin Vassell on rivalry between Grizzlies and Spurs. Now, if you've been a longtime Spurs fan, you know this is not a new rivalry. This dates back to the grit and grind Grizzlies. So I'm not surprised to see a Spurs player speaking on this rivalry. Let's go ahead and get into it because Devin Vassell had a nice game. So let's see what he's saying.
I can't wait. Let's play them again and then again and again and again. I'm excited. Trust me. Can't wait to play them again.
In terms of trash talking games, is San Antonio, Memphis up there?
Them, Houston. Them the games you look at. I mean, obviously look forward to all the games, but them games where you're chirping, you're going back and forth. That's you grow up playing like that, and that's exciting. So I know as soon as that jump ball, hopefully they don't call another foul on jump ball, but as soon as that jump ball goes up, I know it's gonna be a good one.
This is why I'm excited for the game tomorrow. You got Devin Vassell saying he wants to play them again. Wemby, he has a chip on his shoulder after what happened last game. And hopefully the Spurs could wake up. They put together a first half. I think it's just a matter of putting a whole 48 minutes together. And although they have some vets, they're still a young team, so they're still going to have these learning curves. Overall, I don't think there was anything too alarming with this game. Nothing that really concerned me. I think it's just a matter of stringing together 48 minutes. So like I said earlier, I hope Devin Vassell could keep this play up because we need it. It's a long season, and if we're going to have a playoff push, we're going to need our second best player to play like our second best player. With all that being said, man, y'all be sure to leave a like. Leave y'all's thoughts about the game down below. Also, if y'all have any targets y'all would like the Spurs to go after, leave them down below in the comments. Anything y'all want to say, let me know y'all's favorite food. I really don't care. But as always, be sure to subscribe, and I'll catch y'all later. Until then, I'm out.